Ifa, declared by UNESCO as Heritage of Humanity and a masterpiece of the oral and intangible, is defined in its writings as the intelligent information created by the all-powerful God, Olodumare, which has as basic elements knowledge, understanding, and wisdom in the form of energies. His birth surges with the origin of the universe, and his contents are the directives of how this universe should function, where man inhabits. This trilogy of energies, that is to say, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, gathered in a soul dissoluble element similar to a gelatinous egg, to come down to earth and serve as a basic instruction manual for the creation of terrestrial life. Its descent was accompanied by light and sound, and it lingered for a long time in space, evacuating its energy. This dimension of the expansion of energy is known scientifically today as the morphogenetic resonance field, according to the theory of Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, and also is known as string fields, which is the basics of string theory, referring to the electrons and other elemental particles inside the atom, which are composed of lines or oscillating chords or vibrating chords, as well as of membranes which propagate through space and time. The dynamics of these chords, or oscillating chords, are governed by matrices of tension and kinetic energies, which combine to produce oscillations. This also explains the encyclopedic structure of Ifa, formed by Odu, or matrices. The Yoruba word Odu in English means matrix or uterus. That is to say, Ifa's instructions, which are given in matrices of energies coherent in the whole universe, and they are divided into 16 basic matrices, known in the literary body of Ifa as Mejis, and another 240 more matrices derived from these 16 basic ones, and they are known as Omolu matrices, to form a total of 256 Odu, or matrices. This intelligent information from Ifa vibrates with frequencies of coherent light enclosed in a binary code described as qubits of information for the 16 Mejis, and bits of information for the rest of the 240 Odu, or matrices. The binary code of Ifa describes the dual condition between the existent in life, which sometimes complement each other, and in others they oppose. For example, life and death, the feminine and the masculine, night and day, on and off, the good and the bad. This code was discovered in the 17th century by the German philosopher and mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in the year 1679, taken as a model from the I Ching, or Book of Changes from the Chinese tradition, from the years 2800 BC to 2737 BC, before our Common Era. But this system, the I Ching, was nothing more than a version of the binary code of Ifa, which surged with creation. This model of the binary code is the basis of modern computerization, where the processors imitate the most powerful computer that exists, the human brain. It decodes the binary writings of Ifa through DNA to transcribe the necessary instructions. in the formation of life. When we speak of cubics, information, we refer to the capacity of the quantum systems of being in two polar states at the same time, in one photon or light particle, that is to say, the positive and the negative, they superimpose or exist at the same time. This would happen with the feminine and the masculine, on the contrary to the bit of information where the system must be positive or negative, on or off. An example of the qubit are the atoms which are considered particles and electromagnetic waves at the same time, which can be in many places at the same time. This is another scientific discovery which explains the dynamic connection of the Odu, or information of Ifa, through the qubit applied to the 16 basic matrices, or mejis. One indisputable evidence of this theory in the mathematics of the information of Ifa is held in the human embryogenesis, which is the process of cell division, and the differentiation of the cells, which occurs in the early formation or development of human life. In the first 4 days of the fertilization of the zygote, or egg, in the interior of the woman, it multiplies or reproduces itself in 4x4s until arriving at constituting the morula, or egg, formed by 16 not differentiated cells. These would be the unit of the 16 Odu, or matrices of information of Ifa. Afterwards, these cells go on reproducing in differentiated forms, or specialized forms, which will complete the 256 matrices of information which the DNA within these cells will transcribe to synthesize the proteins which will form the other tens of trillions of cells which will compose the organs and systems of the human fetus until its complete development. But what does the word Ifa mean? And what does its numerology tell us about life? We invite you to enjoy from this information in our next video.